Hi, guys. So, Harry has decided. Oh, well, first, let me say welcome. And hello. And Ash's hello is heavy air of spring, chirping crickets hide from bird. Sun has abandoned moon, delighted with nibbles. Sun has returned to us all. The sun enjoyed its nibbles. I know that it did. And, um, hmm? I don't know what you're saying, Overlord. Sorry. Um, this is the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets live, and we are reading prompts that we did special today. Harry is supposed to be with me, but his poor little eyes were getting all squinty and stuff, and he's like, dude, I'm going to fall asleep. So, does it show how long you have been live for? I have been live for 1 minute and 22 seconds. Are you in the room? Um, Pardon me while we sort these technical issues out. Are you in the room? There you are. Hello. And that is the Overlord, BJHD.writer, in the room. So today we are reading poetry from that was written in like about 17 hours from last night's secret prompts. Oh, we got some good ones in. And we are reading them, or I am reading them because Harry bailed on me. Kidding, Harry. But no, he was getting really tired, and it is hard to read a screen when your eyes are tired. So I am totally okay with that. I understand it. Hi, Leslie. Hi, Casper. Glad you guys are back. And so I will be reading the poetry tonight that is from the prompt. Let me go pull it up. That is from the prompt of ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky, all in support in memory of the eclipse that happened today, the solar eclipse, and we wanted to do something a little bit special with it. And so what people had to do was write to that, and write 20 lines poetry or under 3K words of short story or prose, and they had to use the full line within the poem, not break it up. Title doesn't count. Minimum 3 words per line to qualify. If they wanted the golden ticket, they had to write a second poem that uses the solar eclipse as a metaphor for the darkening of human civilization slash society slash humanity throughout history, and it can be historical or based on current events, 12 plus lines. And if they wanted the pretty purr kitty token, the Eclipse claw, they had to use the word penumbra and obliteration in at least one of the poems. And we got several people took on the challenge, which is really exciting. And guys, I saw the solar eclipse today in complete totality, 100% for over 4 minutes, laying on my back on the ground, feeling the earth woo me as the moon covered the sun up and created this glorious halo of just exquisiteness. The sky, when it darkened quickly. You could see a few stars, and I can see how, and the center was so black, like pitch black, blacker than black. And I can see how way back when people would have been just like, is it going to eat us? Is it going to swallow us up? Why is there a hole in the sky? It was just gorgeous. Gorgeous. Gave me goosebumps. Oh, loved it. Loved the energy. Made me happy. I did. It did. It did. So, had wonderful company. It was an amazing, amazing day. And now I'm going to read everybody's poems. And so the first poem that I'm going to be reading is by the Overlord, VJHD.writer. And I do not see a title. And this says, ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky. Shadows fall heavily across the line of light. The sun resembles the crescent moon. Pinpoint sparkles dotted the now dark abyss. Fourscore centuries waiting in a separate plane, all her own. Enticing truths billow out as the Luna goddess plays. Obliteration of light brings about a quiet day. Weeping moments as reflection finds a minute. Fairies free to flit about, spreading magic amongst the bright eyes. Penumbra perfection illuminates the spaces between. A pallid silver, ubiquitous moon. All her own world just for a time. Did you catch the change? When the world stopped moving. It's over now. Time to marvel and forget. The stars are going out once more. Will you remember how it felt to all stand as one, looking up? You hoot it! An eclipse of indifference, says the Overlord. You hoot it. Um, this is beautiful. I really I like a lot of the words that you used. Bafflement and ubiquitous, enticing, weeping. Penumbra had to use, but I like that word too. I like these words you used. I like the story that you're weaving, that you brought it from the shadows falling heavily across the plane of light, and then you drip down into where the Luna goddess is playing in a fairy-like world. Leslie says, "Oh, yes." Um, I like the spreading magic amongst bright eyes, and it illuminates the spaces between. A pallid, not just silver, but a pallid silver, ubiquitous, ubiquitous. Oh, and um, all her own world, just for a time, just for a little bit. But then I like that. I like that question. Did you catch the change when the world stopped moving? And then I like the very end. Will you remember how it felt to all stand as one, looking up? Beautiful poem, Overlord. Um, Hi, Tommy. Welcome back. Uh, Gorgeous, gorgeous poem. So thank you for writing to it. And I do believe somebody won an Eclipse Claw. Overlord says, I wrote the who line first and then added the rest. I think you just need a who line and the rest comes later. The who line is great because I loved that who. Not gonna get, not going to the who bill, but I love that episode. I really did. So that was awesome. Thank you. And you did not get a golden ticket, but you did get an Eclipse Claw. Purdy, purr, kitty token. Yay! And next, we have Casper's, the ghostly poet. And Casper's, I don't see a title. And he says, another day in a low, high, bewildering state. My mind, it wanders through thoughts on the brink. No destruction, just creation, yet the lines in black burst and invigorating bright. Let me start over. Blah, tongue-tied. Let me start over. Leslie says, I will forever remember when the time stood still for us all. Yes, Leslie, it was gorgeous. So this is the ghostly poet, Casper. Another day in a low, high, bewildering state. My mind, it wanders through thoughts on the brink. No destruction, just creation. Yet the lines in black burst an invigorating bright. Without black, would there really be any color at all? It was birthed from white, this world. But that's not the phrase I've seen. Maybe neither you, all the same. It's an interesting thought, and I stare into the sky where the colors are red bleed as ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky, thinking of creation, hours, of creating what you were reading here and now. It's weird how the universe tends to speak through things we all create. An overlord says, "You are one of the few, Leslie. Most will forget." Oh, I will never forget today, Overlord. Today was amazing. Um, no, I don't. Yeah, no, won't forget that. Um, Tommy's giving hearts to Casper, and yes, so I like that statement at the end for one. Ash's ghost. That's fucking awesome. I like the statement at the end for one. It's weird how the universe tends to speak through things we all create. But I like that it rounds back up everything that's said before. And I like the way as he goes from the beginning, a low, high, bewildering state. Um, not no destruction, just creation. Thoughts are on the brink, that without destruction, creation, without destruction, there can't be creation. But I like the way, but I like the way he's using it in this because he's like, I'm just creating. I'm just here. My mind, though my thoughts are on the brink, it's I'm letting these lines flow and burst, invigorating. They're dark, but I'm I'm letting it out. It's here. And without the darkness, would there be any other colors? Could we see anything? Uh, Even though in darkened state, he's letting his mind wander, and I think that's beautiful. Um, and then, literally, as he's taking us through it, he'll go, "It's an interesting thought." And then I stare at the sky where the colors of red bleed. uh, and goes down into the prompt line. And then thinking of creation, hours of creating what you were reading here and now. It's weird how the universe tends to speak through things we all create. So, really, I just like the introspection of it. Leslie says, "I love the idea of illuminating creativity." Ah, my downstairs neighbor's gnats are driving me crazy. Sorry about that, guys. Um, so it's really, really beautiful, gorgeous. Thank you, Casper. And then next, we have the nature of Ash. Ash says that drop into the prompt was a smooth move. It was, right? It was like that perfect little pause that then opened it up into more. I really liked it. And so Ashes is outside of Penumbra, outside. And Casper says, "Thank you. Happy I didn't miss it." I'm happy you didn't miss it too, Casper. Hug, hug. And I'm so glad to see you writing again. We enjoy your writing. So it's really nice to see you here. And this is the nature of underscore of Ash, and it's called Outside of Penumbra. Lips know a finger as thoughts linger. For those outside of Penumbra, screams barred the barred singer. Second guessing ourselves, spurred by a catalyst, last night's setting reminds while upsetting. The holy stars abstinent. Day fades after drops of 24. Again, secondhand. Repeats all the guesses of battlefront moments expressed in his song. The 11th hour is both grueling and long, dark and dark not blended for those outside of Penumbra. Morning of light never done, possession of luminance upended, suspended entanglement ascended. As ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky, eats all the colors, hue regression never to shun, refraction of prisms that bend. Once again, ebon barred hisses expression as he mimes the reanimation. Whew. thinking I probably didn't get that rhythm quite right, but what I like about it from the very first, even though you're like finger linger, I love it when you say screams bard, B-A-R-D, the bard, B-A-R-R-E-D, singer, screams bard, the bard, singer. Oh, I like that wordplay. Second guessing ourselves, spurred by a catalyst. I love the spurred by a catalyst. Tommy says awesome, because isn't that so often what sets off huge events? Just this little bitty catalyst. Uh, Last night's setting, while upsetting, the holy stars abstinent. The holy stars abstinent. Um, that that says something right there. I don't know what it says, but the idea of it is just like, damn. And then I love the way that you used time. Day fades after drops of 24. Again, second hands. Repeat all the guesses of battlefront moments expressed in his song. The 11th hour. Oh, the 11th hour is both grueling and long. Dark. Day and dark, not blended for those outside of penumbra. And I like the way you use the outside of penumbra. Um, Leslie says, I understand how Ash is questioning this manifestation. What manifestation is Ash questioning, Leslie? Um, and then I like when it goes into possession of luminescence upended, suspended, entanglement ascended. Ooh, I like the way that sounds. Possession of luminescence upended, suspended, entanglement ascended. And then I like the way that you use the prompt going down into the ebon bafflement, uh, the hue regression never to shun. Once again, ebon barred hisses expression as he mimes the reanimation. And I think about how that happened today, like as I was gazing up at the sky, and this blackness just suddenly turned to all the sparks flying everywhere. Um, and when it burst, like when the moon suddenly parted just a little bit, that it wasn't completely covering it. It wasn't like a slow fade into light. No, it was like it shifted and it was fireworks, like the explosion of all those little lights you saw dancing around suddenly just went out. So fanned out rather, as he mimes the reanimation. I like that, miming the reanimation. Gorgeous. And Ash is given all the hugs and the black hearts. Love some sparkly hugging black hearts. So beautiful job, Ash. Thank you. Oh, and penumbra, and I don't see obliteration. And in Casper's, nope, don't see that there either. So these two don't get a kitty or a golden ticket. But if there's others, I'm just going in order. There might be others that will cause you to. It's in the next poem. Okay, yeah. Then I will announce it in the next poem. And this one is, next is Tommy, T.M. DeSaro. Leslie says, questioning the legitimacy and wonders of it all. Is that what you got out of that? Cool. I always love hearing what you get out of the poems, Leslie, because sometimes we hit it the same and sometimes we don't, but it always makes me think, and I appreciate that. I love being able to discuss with poets like that whenever we all have different thoughts and ideas on a poem. It's really interesting, I think. And this is T.M. DeSaro, Two Worlds. We live in two worlds, the one we see and the one we feel. This is just my point of view. But then again, I could be wrong. While we're talking of worlds and how we skew our views, please indulge me if you will. It seems my dreams are somewhat disenchanted. Slanted slightly, maybe more, the things that I adore. You think are vile and so abhor. Yet when you take the time to look beyond my misery, it's plain to see that everything is folly for my history. Pathetic curiosity to kill a cat, or maybe three. We see the ends we want, beginnings often come to naught. Like lessons taught but never learned, we earn what we create, a dish of discontentment, spinning lives like empty plates. We leave the world behind and journey further into self, scribbling in a notebook, placing lovers on a shelf. Projection is an art form, weaving webs with sleight of tongue, cursed by every sentence once the story has begun. Carelessly we whisper, sweetest honey in a kiss, a sainted touch, a sacred crutch, a lover that we miss. Between two worlds we see and fail, pretending that we own the night, with pretty words like fireflies. They disappear before your eyes, wondering which way to go when every answer's always why, watching ebon bafflement descend from the sun-bleached sky. We gather friends like red inked pens and write their ends before the start, plotting out catastrophes, mysteries of broken hearts. 'Cause before effects to make, those breakups flow like wine. Toxic positivity, everything is fine. These lines of kindness so do blind us, lowering our defense. They fall in love too soon, the fools doth swoon with grand pretense. At love's expense you wash your hands and toss them to the crowd, dressing up in word disguises, poetry like shrouds. From both sides of your mouth you speak of love as something new, a four-way street of mischief, accidents you can't undo. All the while you smile, denial sparkles like a star. Twinkle, twinkle, little liar, I wonder who you are. Mixing pain like colors into gray will soon reveal. Eventually the world will see the way you truly think and feel. Pardon me while I scroll up to see if Penumbra. Okay, don't see you. That was an amazing poem. Um, totally went in a different direction than the Eclipse with the line, which it wasn't required for the basic poem to use it. You're welcome, Tommy. Um, so I like the way it starts out just with the two worlds. We live in two worlds, the one we see and the one we feel. I think that's often the case for so many people, um, that it happens. And then the skew on views, and then he's doing that narration thing that he does, like where he's saying, please indulge me, he's like both writing as the poet but also like he's talking to the reader. um, and then the whole slanted slightly, maybe more, the rhyme going throughout it really leads the poem in this sing-songy kind of uh, traveling, but it's also so sad. um, the things that I adore you think are vile and so abhor. Yet when you take the time to look beyond my misery, it's plain to see that everything is folly for my history. That's a really sad, sad group of lines. Um, and then pathetic curiosity. Can curiosity be pathetic? To kill a cat or maybe three, we see the ends we want. And why do you want to kill a cat? Don't kill the cats. Wait a minute. Why do you want to kill a cat? Are you wanting to? Do we need to all lock you out of the library and everywhere in the space library castle place? Watch out, kiddies. Um, a dish of discontentment, spinning lives like empty plates. That's that's sad. Um, we leave the world behind and journey further into self. Leslie says, twisted in its emotions, for we see our world as sort of a broken mirror, sublimely sad. Yes. Um, Tommy says, curiosity killed the cat. Play on words. Yeah. No, I got that. I got that it was being playful like that. Uh, and then it goes, the second stanza is equally, is sad as well. Scribbling in a notebook, placing levers on self, projection is an art form, weaving webs, a sainted touch, a sacred crutch. It's it's just a sad poem. Um, Gathered friends like red inked pens. People are using red inked pens in poems a lot lately, and I know there must be a reference that I'm getting. Is it something that I'm not getting? Anytime I think of a red ink pen, I always think of teachers. Is there another reference for a red ink pen that I don't know about? Because there must be something, and they're just flying over my little head. And then, but then where it drops down to toxic positivity, everything is fine. Um, Poet says, Casper says, blood ink. Leslie says, blood. I don't understand. Can you spell it out for me a little bit better? Sorry. Um, I hate toxic positivity. Um, but these lines of kindness so do blind us, lowering our defense. Uh, and then it keeps going on, and then it gets a bit bitter. Um, and it's quite cutting, and then drops into the twinkle, twinkle, little liar, or denial sparkles like a star. Twinkle, twinkle, little liar, I wonder who you are. Uh, the going into the nursery rhyme like that, mixing pain like colors into gray will soon reveal. Eventually, the world will see the way you truly think and feel. That's really sad. Casper says, blood running in words. Oh, so like the whole bleeding words thing that like people use as hashtags, that? Sorry. I've seen the phrase of the red ink pen a few times now, and I know that I'm not getting the reference, and so I was just like, give me the I want another reference. But this was really great, Tommy. And thank you guys for explaining that to me. And I don't believe that it had the words in there for the Eclipse claw. No, I do not see them. But it's a beautiful poem none the same. And the next we have Nashabella, the beautiful owl, Leslie. And Leslie's is called Wreath of Light. Wreath of Light. Today I give you a wreath of moon and sun. In total bloom, their radiance is one. I weave the leaves. I'm starting over and going slower, sorry. Leslie, Nashabella, Wreath of Light. Today I give you a wreath of moon and sun. In total bloom, their radiance as one. I weave the leaves of joy and sorrows, for time is flying like the eclipse it borrows. And this celestial feast where shadows meet, the cosmic flames are meshed so sweet. The day becomes the lover of the night as our hearts swell, bathed in lunar light. The depths of my love, a luscious tide, with waves of passion, let me be your soul's guide. And in the sorrows that come like clouds that loom, I find in your arms a comforting cocoon. Ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky as we peered at the sun and moon kissing and then saying goodbye. In their union, a classical duet, their brief encounter of love, we will surely never forget. Today, in the penumbra, I offer you this wreath of light, a timeless token of the obliteration of the sun, burning so bright. For in this eclipse of tenderness, our love is an ocean, and this gift to you is my devotion. Whew, Leslie, you got the rhyme there, but you did it with so much adoration and so much offering of self and, well, emotional passion. But beyond passion, more like a depth of being. Um, I love the way that you use wreath for the eclipse and total bloom, their radiance is once. Tommy says, gorgeous, Leslie. He giving you all the purple hearts. Um, and then I love the way that as you go through it from the celestial feast where shadows meet. Oof, I like that. Or our hearts swell, bathed in lunar light. I love the way you rhyme it all. Leslie says, I thought of my kitties. Oh, that's so sweet. Um, Ash says, so beautiful. Um, and I just love the way you really oozed love throughout this, even with the ebon bafflement descended from the sun bleached sky. You didn't use that as something negative. You said, as we peered at the sun and moon kissing and then saying goodbye. In their union, a classical duet, their brief encounter of love, we will surely never forget. And I don't think anybody who was so blessed to witness that and truly witness that are going to forget that moment because, oh, it was magical, absolutely magical. And then I love the way that you ended it today in the penumbra, today in that in between, the place where light and dark meet. I offer you this wreath of light, a timeless token of the obliteration of the sun, burning so bright. For in this eclipse of tenderness, our love is an ocean. I love that you brought it back to the ocean with the moon. And this gift to you is my devotion. It's very devotional, complete adoration. Really, really beautiful, Leslie. Leslie says, we are so far apart from one another and we love what we do to play with words. I am grateful for all of you. Oh, we are so grateful for you too, Leslie. You're always so supportive of everybody and you share your knowledge freely and you share your love of words freely with us. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness. And it's such a beautiful thing to witness someone who loves an art form so passionately as you do. So I consider myself quite lucky to know you, and absolutely love doing lives with you. It is a peaceful, rejoiceful, rejuvenating experience, and I am very grateful for it. Thank you. Leslie says, dedicated to all of you. And Ash says, and the clouds were very ocean-like, I think. And they were. They come in waves and they moved. It was very beautiful. And speaking of ash, so thank you, Leslie. The next poem is Ashes, the nature underscore of ash. And so this must be the second poem that will possibly, I'll say when I read it, get a golden ticket and Eclipse kitty. So this is Ash. One moment. And so this, let me scroll and get back. Wait, I am missing poems. Overlord, did you move all the Eclipse poems into? Oh, some are at the bottom and some are at the top. Oh no, the ones that are at the top aren't all at. Sorry. One moment. Okay. This is the nature of Ash, and I don't have a title. And it is called, and it goes something like this. Up late and now inhaling the new day. Did not know lucky, lucky me. With witness ebb and I obliterate, pressure of light scatters intention. Sense upon salt's slickened shore, moon is nibbled until no more. The skies change as gods blink, fall into an imperceptibility of time. No, that's wrong. Imperceptibility. Starting over. Imperceptibility. Imperceptibility. Update and now. Update. No, starting over. I like the pink and yellow rings today. I'm glad you enjoyed the mash. Are you okay? Just checking. Just wanting to make sure because your typing's gotten a bit wonky. Up late. Okay. So we'll try start all over. Just wanted to check. So up late and now inhaling the new day. I did not know, lucky, lucky me. With witness ebb and I obliterate. Pressure of light scatters intention. Sense upon a salt slickened shore. Moon is nibbled until no more. The skies change as gods blink, fall into an imperceptibility of time. Once dark is upon us and stand still. Birds have ceased their warning and all stand still. Bowing gracefully in its cosmic ballet, all stand still. We in our aggressive behavior, it waving to the masses. The sun reflects our pearly grin, moondoggy confidence until tragedy strikes. 800,000 people swallowed because the earth shifted, eclipsing normality. Nothing is found, our sight from everything obliterated, as the rest of the parasites move on, unmoved. Once again, the goat sings its song, our perception only eclipsed by its reflection. And because she brought in obliteration, she does get the golden ticket because we did not say that you had to use the line in both poems. We just said the second one needed to be using a metaphor for the darkening of society with the eclipse, and also the eclipsy claw. But what I like about this mostly is you worked Moondoggy into it. I do like that you worked Moondoggy into it. Y'all have to be there for the conversation. But I had intended whenever we gave these prompts out, when I was laying in bed thinking about the prompts and I was falling asleep, I remembered to myself, I was like, oh, include Moondoggy, but make them have to use Moondoggy because that'll make it hard. And then I forgot. Um, and then I remembered it again while I was watching the eclipse today, and had a whole moondoggy conversation. And Tommy says, "Lovely writing, Ash." And Ash says, "Thanks, Tommy." And yes, it is. And I really like the yellow, pink, and yellow rings today too, Ash. And I like the way you also have the moon is nibbled until no more. Um, and the pressure of light scatters attention. I like the rhythm of the words that you used. And then Leslie is clapping and says, "Bravissima, Ash." And then I like that short little grouping where you say, "Once dark is upon us, all stand still. Birds have ceased their warning, all stand still. Bowing gracefully at its cosmic ballet, all stand still." But then you drop down, and then it gets dark, like we're it's all right, but then we in our aggressive behavior, it's waving to the masses. The sun reflects our pearly grin, moondoggy confidence until tragedy strikes. 800,000 people swallowed because the earth shifted, eclipsing normality. Nothing is found, our sight from everything obliterated. But then this next line might be my favorite line of the entire poem. As the rest of the parasites move on, unmoved. And is that not how we act? So is how we act. As the rest of the parasites move on, unmoved. Once again, the goat sings its song, our perception only eclipsed by its reflection. Love that. Love that. Kind of goosebump giving. Ash says high five. Yes, high five to you, Ash. That is wonderful. And so Leslie says, "I bow for her veracity to state that we are parasites," right? Yes. And the word tragedy means goat song. Really? I did not know that. Oh, I'm going to have to look that up. I did not know that. So the next we have is, let me scroll back up. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Scroll, scroll, scroll. My screen. Yes, it's Greek, says Ash. Oh, that's cool. Goats on. Oh, it makes you wonder where it comes from, right? Since it's tragedy and goats. I mean, is it like from whenever they butchered the goats? Or I'll have to look that up. Thank you. I think you just made something quite curious for us all. Oh, and golden ticket, pretty, pretty paw cat trinket for Ash. Yay! And then next, we have Melrose underscore poetry 18. Mel. And no title. And Melrose writes, from the sun-bleached sky, a penumbra of illuminated lies. This world needs to be reprimanded. A joyous ballet of obliteration, fooled by the doe-eyed sweetheart. They stare into dank, rotting art, disguised as impending salvation. Wearing cheap plastic glasses, the audience so easily led by a trend. Commanding naked eyes, ideas ascend, delaying the hypnosis of the masses. Temporarily deprived of the norm, blindfolds serve as a wake call. So begins a civilization's cleanup. Reform is now the one playing hardball. Magnetic pull of a weary shadow, that bold charisma brings a brief pause. Evolution echoes a bright ring of applause with understated yet monumental flow. Mel, I am always terrified to guess what you're meaning because it can mean so many things and you play with your words so much. And I could read so much into this, but I love the way that it's written. I love the flow of it. And the way that you used your rhyming was very interesting. You mixed it up, and that's really cool. And I like the whole doe-eyed sweetheart following the ballet of obliteration. Tommy says beautifully written with the hearts, purple hearts. Yes. Um, and you used dank. I like that you used dank rotting art. Overlord says the title is A Shadow of Hardball. Thank you, Overlord. Uh, and I can see how that would be the title with what she has used. And then the wearing cheap plastic glasses, the audience so easily led by a trend. Um, it echoes what happened today, but this isn't a trend, so it's interesting. You missed the first post, I think. Melting. First post. Is there a second poem? I'm going by what I have on here that was sent to me. We put them in folders, so I'm just reading what was sent to me. Is there two poems, Leslie? And Leslie's saying she wrote two. Let me go look in my DMs. When I read from y'all for lives, I read off of WhatsApp because it lets me make the pieces bigger, and it's what we grab from the um, chat. Overlord says she has two posts. It's only one sent to us. The other was just an Eclipse poem. Oh, okay. Um, I like the way she says, so begins a civilization's cleanup. Reform is now the one playing hardball. But what is the reform? And then the magnetic pull of a weary shadow, the bold charisma brings a brief pause. Evolution echoes a bright ring of applause with understated yet monumental flow. And it's so intriguing how she's used the eclipse to weave these words in and these ideas in. So I really like it. She did use the obliteration and penumbra. Is penumbra used? Yes, and penumbra. So she gets the eclipse clause, but if she only sent one poem, um, she does not get the gold ticket. But it's, in fact, this can't be. I'm confused. Overlord, this doesn't have the line in it. Are you sure there's not a second poem that has the line in it, Overlord? Because she only used part of the line from the sun bleached sky, unless I only have part of the poem. Sweet dreams, Ash. So I only have part of the poem. I don't have the full poem. I think you missed the first line because there's 4 lines in each stanza except for that first one, and I only have 3 lines in the first one. Thank you, Leslie. I'm going to read this again because I feel bad for messing it up. So hold on. Um, she says, Willy Wonka told Florida, you get nothing except for clouds for the eclipse. Oh, well, at least I got a poem out of it. I call this piece a shadow of hardball. And so this is a shadow of hardball. Thank you, Leslie. Ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky, a penumbra of illuminated lies. This world needs to be reprimanded. A joyous ballet of obliteration fooled by the doe-eyed sweetheart. They stare into dank, rotting art, disguised as impending salvation. Wearing cheap plastic glasses, the audience so easily led by a trend, commanding naked eyes, ideas ascend, delaying the hypnosis of the masses. Temporarily deprived of the norm, blindfolds serve as a wake call. So begins the civilization's cleanup. Reform is now the one playing hardball. Magnetic pull of a weary shadow, that bold charisma brings a brief pause. Evolution echoes a bright ring of applause with understated yet monumental flow. She copied it into the chat wrong. That's why there's a line missing. Then sent a second one as a written text. I didn't notice 2 pieces. There's 2 pieces? Okay. Are you sending me the second one? And this is the second piece. Thank you. From the sun bleached. No, that's the same one. That's the same poem. Did it copy and paste draw? I can just go into the chat and look. Let me do that. It's okay. We make mistakes like that. So let me see. Then that means that was beautiful, Mel. Thank you so much. And next we have, let me see. Next we have Kenmani Curel, our new kitty, Kenmani. And I don't have a title. Leslie says thunderclap, but one poem with a beautiful imagery. Yes, absolutely. So this is Kenmani Curel. Ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky. Stardust S's in a penumbra, mortar's eye. An elixir obliteration Mother Nature lay, infested, diseased, and in decay. Butterfly existence prey to Fortuna, cosmos, circus play, horror of the sky, solar eclipse, illuminate behind tenebrosity. Hope radiates transitory metamorphosis of Luna into pseudonymous awoken star. A miraculous phenomena, a sight to bar, Liberta's token, through trials and tribulations of iniquitous storms, everlasting ethereal energy taking all forms, twists and turns of prismatic beams, weave wonderful heavenly dreams. Reality rips, humanity prevails over monstrosity. Worldly wisdom quips and tips, shifted states of fates, flesh and blood healed and mended, effervescent, fluorescent peace grips, love, gemation, holy communion, celebration. Mm. One, the flow of this is exquisitely gorgeous. Um, the wordplay and the adornment with nature is resplendent, but and this is gonna maybe sound bad of me, but I really like the border's eye. Um, Tommy says it's wonderful. It is. I really like how she goes into stardust S's in a penumbra mortar's eye because it does. It looks like that. It looks like what you would imagine that to be. And then into in elixir obliteration, Mother Nature lay infested, diseased, and in decay. And that's so sad, isn't it? I mean, she's writing this beautifully exquisite words, but are not are those words are not describing something beautiful. They're describing absolute horror. I mean, just complete horror. And then butterfly existence, pray. So please let us metamorphosize. Let us metamorphosize. Praying to Fortuna, the cosmic circus plays, praying to fortune, begging the horror of the sky, the solar eclipse. illuminate behind tenebrosity, bring brightness behind the shadows. Hope radiates a transitory metamorphosis of Luna into pseudonymous awoken star. The star awakens, the sun awakens, and a miraculous phenomenon is sight to bear, Libertas token through trials and tribulations of iniquitous storms. I love that, through trials and tribulations of iniquitous storms, because it could be talking about the storms of civilization and mankind and everything we go, but she could be talking about the solar storms that happen and destroy Earth, against destroy civilizations and life, but then life renews and brings back an everlasting ethereal energy, taking all forms, twists and turns of prismatic beams, weave wonderful heavenly dreams. And then reality rips. Humanity prevails over monstrosity. Worldly wisdom quips and tips. Oh, the sounds there. Shifted states of fates, flesh and blood, healed and mended, effervescent fluorescence, peace grips. And then those last three lines: love, gemination, holy communion, celebration. This is a gorgeous poem. Leslie, are you squealing? I hope you're squealing. I'm squealing on the inside so I don't lose my voice. That's beautiful. Gorgeous. Love it. Love it. And Kenmani gets the kitty cat, I believe. Let me double check. Yes. Kenmani gets the kitty cat, but I believe she only sent one poem, so she doesn't get a golden ticket. But oh, this would qualify for a golden ticket as a poem if she'd have wrote another one. This is beautiful. I love it. Really, really like that a lot. But you know what we messed up on, Overlord? This is a secret prompt, so we should have had a favorite four, and we did not. I mean, a favorite five, and we did not do that. Oh, we got to get used to that one. Um, I really like that one a lot. And then the next one we have is my first one. Leslie says, it reminds me of where we have never swam before. It's beautiful. And Overlord says, we really didn't have time for that, given it was less than a day and I have the flu. And I was out checking out the eclipse. Yeah, it's been a busy day. So this is from The Breath of Daydreams, and it is called The Darkening. Ebon bafflement descended from the sun-bleached sky, a razor-sharp reminder taking refuge by the by. Elusive yet contagious, the fountains brimming in lost eyes, evasive in derangement, taunting lurkers to comply. How we swirled through in penumbra, baiting longing with our voice. Obliteration was a guarantee, but sheep will always dream of choice. Deranged were screams of wonder, bleating sirens with their noise. Wrapped in shadows, bathed in pleasure, not a one denied our poise. It was over in an instant, a welcomed moment in reprise, but for those minutes we were reborn. There would be no compromise. Darkness drapes half-truths in splendor, while the sun blinds all for prize. Ebon bafflement descended, a reminder everybody dies. And that's my first poem. Don't want to talk about it. I'm trying to get better about talking about my poetry, guys. It's easier if somebody's on here with me. Um, what did I like about my poem? I like that it rhymes, and I like that I repeat the eyes from sky, go from the single syllable down into the third stanza as well. And I like that I used BYE for by the by because I did it on purpose. And I like Elizabeth. I can't do my own poem without someone else here. Sorry, guys. So we're moving on. Um, Leslie says, a razor sharp reminder. Thank you. Yes. And so that was the first poem I wrote, and then um, and I used the words in it. And then this one is my second for the Golden Ticket poem. And it's called Eclipsed. And it's not a poem, it's more prose. Eclipsed. We drifted between phases, phased corresponders of a time interlaced with the drones of salvation. We weren't the misdemeanors of disillusionment. We were blunt forced reckoning, malevolent in our righteous surety. We were death, famine, disease, and shame. Don't believe what the old stories tell you. Conquest and war was as natural to us as breathing. We lived for it, thrived on it. Our God, the righteous golden spire we jealously hoped upon, craved it, demanded it. He wooed it from us with a hateful bitterness for our neighbors that made us feel strong, mighty, godlike, all powerful in his image. He asked us to bleed our fertility into the barren ground. We took it a step further and plowed our offspring in the hope of a nourishing blessing. Friend, family, foe, all fucked. For we turned our back on reality and chose instead to bask in the make-believe beyond. We grafted rules to our heart, an abomination to our soul. We deviled and reviled all that we shouldn't. We named ourselves chosen and excused our judgmental, all consuming, gluttonous nature as curses lobbed onto us by forces other than. Rather than had we sought out our own reflection and gazed back into the abyss, lacking empathy of the dead eyes staring back through us. Had only we even tried to care, tried to love our neighbor, tried to not greedily take and take and take, and ebon bafflement descended from a sun-bleached sky, and like the heavens darkening around us, we descended so as to claim righteousness. We marked any not like us as heathen, foul, corrupted, void of wisdom or heart. We, the true savages, bled everything dry, and still do to this day. For our ancestors claimed us, the cherished. They claimed us, the favorite of an all powerful being. They claimed us, molded in his image. And we, foolish, deranged, besotted mistakes that we are, forget the violent history of his wrath. We forget and make excuses for him, for us, for all that we've ever been and ever will be. Obliteration at its best. We, the poor misguided sods, too frightened of our own shadows to step into the penumbra of our existence and know transcendence. Instead, like most infestations, we wither away beneath the glaring ball of discontent that will one day consume us as the food we have always existed to be. Sacrifice, salvation, two sides of the same coin. All that really matters is who casts the biggest shadow. Isn't it fun to pretend to be more than we really are? And that's that. Golden ticket! Yay! And that is what we're ending the night on. Um, Thank you guys for writing. And truly, deeply, thank you guys for writing to tonight's live. As you noticed, we did not give out any secret words tonight. That'll happen again on our next one. But we really enjoyed it, and we're going to be putting posts up of the eclipse. We did special stuff for this tonight to commemorate that it's the eclipse, and we really enjoyed everybody's poetry, and it was very deeply amazing. So Thanks, everyone. Leslie says, thank you. You are welcome, Leslie. Um, and so we enjoyed all of this. And thank you for coming. And let me go back to the poem so that it doesn't cut off my goodbye like it often does, that the Overlord likes to read. Overlord says, I have finished them all just now, so I'll put them up shortly. Uh, so, yes, the poems are going up the night of so that they go up on the night of the eclipse, which is really cool. Um, and so, why did we do this? What is this about? This is about the Society of Secretly Perfect Poets. And we are the voices beyond the din. We are the cats who will always win. We are poets of imagination, creativity, and meow, scratching alphabetical dexterity. We search for clues and hunt for treats. We base our prose on instinctual beats. We keep a sharp eye towards various causes. We attract certain types of poetic pauses. We apply a propensity for finding the fun. Or no, we have a propensity for finding the fun. We're not being studiously serious with puns. We're the voices above the fray. We're the safe space for those with something to say. Thank you guys for coming, and may your paws stay inky. Good night.